Welcome everybody to a next episode of Process Mapping. My name is still Jurgen Moors, and today I promised you we will look a little bit at 6 major process maps that are used throughout the industry or somewhere. You can use it at home and you can do it with your kids, but I would not suggest to do that. Basically, in the industry, it's majorly used. Which 6 types are there? Well, the first type we already talked about. This is the high-level process map or the basic flow chart. The basic flow chart has the major steps in a certain process. For instance, a manufacturing process. This is what a basic flow chart is. Major steps tells anybody who looks at it, okay, this is the way, in a basic way, how a car is manufactured. Second one is the high-level process map. In high-level process map, you will start adding stuff throughout your value chain, meaning what are the inputs, the outputs. You go into a little bit more detail. You can also start to visualize sub-processes on a high level where you said, okay, I remember the example from last time. I said, okay, here we have rejected, we have a quality check, and there are rejected goods. Okay, these rejected goods are clear, they are another sub-process, but you visualize it that it is another sub-process. This happens in a high-level process map. When you go into a detailed process map, you put everything on there that we discussed before. We have the start, we have the end, we have every step, we have every decision point, we have all the inputs, we have all the outputs, we have all the sub-processes. But this is not always very efficient if you look at a whole process of, for instance, a car manufacturing. Because a detailed process map in that case would be so complex, it would be hard to explain and hard to see. And that was one of the things that we tried to do by visualization of the process, was to make it easier to understand for certain people. So detailed process map is better on a smaller process or on a sub-process to be used. Those are the 3 things every time on a different level. Now, what are the 3 other ones? Cross-functional flow chart or cross-functional process map. It speaks for itself. In especially larger industries, you have different functions. It can be the logistical department, manufacturing, and finance. They can all add to a certain process, and you can all look at the activities, okay, in a certain process step, what do they add? And then we talk also sometimes about the swimming lanes. We have the swimming lane of, for instance, in this case, logistics. We have the swimming lane of operations. We have the swimming lane of finance, and they all add to a certain process, or the major process flow actually moves from swimming lane to swimming lane. That is also a possibility, but it visualizes how the functions cross-functionally work together, or should work together. And then we have one of the process maps that's mainly used for Six Sigma projects. We will talk about that a lot later in this series. Meaning it's CPOC. These 5 letters are standing for suppliers, inputs, the basic process, outputs, and the customers. So meaning, okay, what is coming from suppliers, what is actually the inputs that are coming from, what is my basic process, what are the outputs, and what is going to the customers. There's also, can compare it a little bit to the swimming lanes, but from a different point of view. You have these 5 areas where you each time look at, and when the basic process is most of the time right in the middle, and you focus very heavily on the inputs, and then, okay, what are my customers and my suppliers actually doing that? It's your own choice whether you take internal and external suppliers or not, and the same thing for customers. This is your choice as well. And the last and 6th major process map is a value stream process map, where you'll actually start looking at values. You will map your major value stream. Not every cent, but your major value stream. You can start from your basic raw material into your semi-finished goods, into your finished goods, and every step you try to visualize, okay, what are my costs that I'm bringing in? What is the benefit of that, or what is the value that I add, or the value that I will take away in each process step? That's your value stream process mapping that you use to make sure from bringing a product from what I get at the door of my company, or at the start of my process till the end, what's the value that I add, what's the value that I bring. It makes things clear when you especially look at optimization, cost, effectiveness. If you want to look where your most value adding activities are, when you want to outsource certain stuff sometimes, this is typically an approach that you use with a value stream mapping. So it brings me to the end of this episode over, okay, what are now the 6 major process mappings that are here. Thank you for watching. If you want to know more, definitely keep on following us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And I hope to see you soon. And never forget, we were all born with 2 thumbs up.